What would enhypen like to show to the fans and what they'd like to hide? Jake definitely likes when fans perceive him as someone naturally competent, someone skilled and enthusiastic who is good at things and proactive, someone who treats the public, the fans' intensity, and even social events and interactions genuinely but also very naturally without putting too much effort into looking like that. He likes to seem nonchalant and even a bit secretive, like someone who just shows up and does their best because that's natural for him, not because he cares that much. What he wants to hide is how much effort he actually puts into being perceived that way, how much work it takes for him to look so skilled, and how many insecurities he still has about it. He also doesn't like when people notice what he considers his weak parts, like things he idealizes, dreams about, or very sentimental matters. He definitely doesn't like talking about things that hurt him or that are too meaningful emotionally. If something truly hurts him or is hurting him, he would never want someone else to know. Heeseung likes to be seen as someone charming, someone who naturally pulls people in. He likes to be perceived as a member who brings popularity to enhypen and someone who gets attention naturally through the way he acts and does his work. He also prefers to be seen as a quieter person rather than someone who always speaks their mind. He likes a mysterious but clever vibe. He wants to hide how much he wants to be accepted, loved, and seen as different, cool, modern, or even having a foreign kind of energy. He doesn't want people to realize how much he searches for love and validation. He also wouldn't like people noticing his insecurities or how much he questions himself and imagines negative scenarios out of insecurity. As for Jay, he likes to be seen as reliable, emotionally mature, and sincere. He likes the idea of being someone others can look up to and someone who can give rather than only receive. Someone responsible and inspirational, someone who can become a favorite artist to other artists, and who can manage responsibilities well while doing everything properly. He wants to hide that he still feels like the life he has isn't enough and that he always needs to do more and be more. He has an insatiable emotional depth that never feels fully fulfilled, which pushes him to work harder and give his best, but also makes him emotionally distant and dissatisfied. He feels like no one can truly connect with him emotionally, or that he shouldn't let people know he feels things that intensely until something feels fulfilled or lives up to his standards. Sunghoon likes when people notice when he's in control, both of how he looks and how he's perceived. Someone who has many cards up his sleeve, who can show different sides of himself and has multiple talents. He wants to be seen as someone who can do anything, and even though it's intentional, it looks nonchalant, like he doesn't care that much. He simply is. When it comes to what he wants to hide, he tries hard to look and be self-sufficient, but he doesn't always know what to do and sometimes acts impulsively, learning and changing through those mistakes. He thinks a lot before making decisions to be sure he's choosing the right path, but the truth is that he isn't always sure. He has struggles, insecurities, and fears, just like anyone else, but he doesn't like to talk about it or show it. Sunoo wants to be seen as someone free and carefree, someone spontaneous who doesn't worry too much about consequences, someone bright who can also set boundaries and be respected. The Empress above the Emperor shows he wants to be seen as empathetic, loving, and affectionate, but also capable of imposing limits and showing who he is. Someone with traits seen as feminine, but who is still very masculine. He wants all of this to be perceived as genuine and true to who he really is. He wants to hide that he doesn't really know how to act the way he thinks he's supposed to. He feels like he doesn't fit into what people consider normal or appropriate, so he strategically tries to act in ways that feel acceptable. He doesn't want people to know how much he wants to fit in and prefers it to look natural. For Jungwon, he wants people to notice that he's different and has qualities that set him apart from the other members. He wants to be seen as unique and for the good side of that to stand out. He wants people to see him as fun, bright, and capable of doing well in different roles, initiating projects, leading and expressing a unique personality. He wants to stand out both in the group and as an individual artist. He wants to hide how scared he is of change and how emotional he becomes when thinking about losing what he's already achieved or losing people's interest and love. He doesn't want to be forgotten or left behind. He worries a lot about people not liking him or the group anymore and about losing popularity and affection. He also doesn't want people to know how hard he tries to maintain that attention and how constantly he pushes himself to improve so he won't fall short in any area. Nikki wants to be seen as youthful and energetic, but also as someone with a strong personality, someone not afraid of competition because who he is and how he works is enough. There's also a desire to be seen as seductive, provocative, and mysteriously flirty. He wants to be perceived as someone who, even without saying much, already delivers a message about who he is and what he wants, provoking a reaction. He definitely likes being seen as sexy, sensually hardworking, and assertive. He doesn't want people to know that he hides his thoughts and feelings much more than he shows, and that he takes things far more seriously than people realize. His work is a priority, and he has an almost obsessive relationship with it. He's deeply afraid of wasting his effort or losing what he's already achieved. There's a lot of calculation behind how he acts in order to be perceived the way he wants. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment which group or type of reading you'd like to see next. In case you'd like more readings about enhypen or Boy Next Door, check out my blog, Tarookie, on Tumblr. To book a reading with me, you can always go to my Ko-fi account, linked in the description.